Captain Dave here with Third Wave. Hey, sometimes you can only find manuals available in hard copy. That's the case for our 454XL Crusader motors that came with the Third Wave. And paper manuals are fine and everything, but the first time you try and use them with dirty hands, they get smudged up, and you try and mark them up, and now they're kind of a mess. The pages get torn, bent, the manual gets lost, and it's an $85 manual. So I much prefer a PDF that I can mark up digitally and will never get lost. There's a lot of advantages to be had by having a digitized version. Namely, you don't have to carry the heavy manual around, but also the searchability. A searchable PDF can get you right where you need to be in the manual very quickly. In order to have ready access to this data when we need it, where we need it, it'd be best if it was digitized. You can see that TECM 547, which is the illustrated parts catalog for the older gas engines, comes in a ring binder form. And so all that's necessary for that is to scan it in. But the other two manuals come in bound form, and so they're actually going to have to be cut away from their bindings in order to do the digitization. And yes, it's a travesty to have to tear a manual apart like this, but the benefits of having this data in digitized, searchable form far outweigh the value of the binding. You can see that the blade height on the table saw has been set about 1 inch higher than the thicker of the two manuals. Also note that we'll be using a sort of a high resolution 72 tooth saw blade in order to have as smooth a cut as possible. You can see that the plastic top cover of one of the manuals exceeds the paper section by about 1/16 of an inch. So in order for that not to get in our way when we're doing the cutting, I'm going to fold that back and tape it in place. Okay, so Kyle showed up and he's going to help me with this cutting operation. And so essentially he's going to use that black pusher stick to hold the edge of the manual down while putting it through the machine. Well, we left a little bit more glue on the edge than we wanted to, but all the pages are free and separate, so we should be good to go. Now we're going to go ahead and do the other manual. Okay, so it's a good thing that we got to practice on the other manual first. This one took off quite a bit more of the glue, and this one looks really ready for the digitization process. Okay, so Kyle and I have now set up his Fujitsu ScanSnap IX500 scanner with OCR, optical character recognition. And the goal of this now will be to go ahead and scan in all these pages duplex and then save it all to a PDF file that is searchable, which is the important part of this whole thing. So this ScanSnap is looks like it's reading the cut documents nicely, and as you can see over here on the laptop, it is scanning these in real time. It's kind of amazing. This thing's fast. Okay, so we're going to feed this document in pieces. As you can see, we have a few rounds of pieces to go, and I'll pick up the video out when we're nearly done. So we finished scanning in not just one, but more like 3 or 4 different engine manuals that I had. And the one I really cared about, of course, was the 454XL Crusader. And as you can see, I have a search box open up here now, and I'm going to search for the word thermostat. So not only do we have the exact image that was in the manuals, okay, all the pictures and everything, but any labels have been turned into searchable text. And so now every picture, every diagram, every parts list now has searchable text. this is far more powerful than a paper manual. So again, this is the Fujitsu ScanSnap IX500 that has optical character recognition. We probably did 400 to 500 pages in, I'm going to say, 5 minutes. So we did 3 manuals of almost that size. So maybe we took a half an hour total at this thing. And now I have completely searchable manuals. So that's the tip for this week. This is Captain Dave from Third Wave.